I teach kids what they don't learn in school: how to love life and how to start loving themselves. I have parents reach out for all different reasons. It could be anxiety, low self-esteem, anger outbursts, problems making friends, socially awkward, perfectionism, or hard on themselves. They're not social and they're shy. But the difference between my coaching and other coaching is that I address the root issue. And the root issue is always your child's self-esteem. In my practice, I don't acknowledge labels. I've never met a child who felt empowered by any label other than uniquely amazing. That is at the core of everything I teach: how to start loving life and how to start loving themselves. When you teach a child and you give that child permission to be themselves, to focus on all their amazing qualities that they were born with, that is not always developed within school. Your child's only problem is that they're defeating themselves in their own mind. That is it. My approach is very simple. It's about addressing the root issue, which is your child's self-esteem. It's teaching them how to love themselves, to not be so self-critical. It's teaching them that perfectionism does not exist and actually works against your child and is not helpful at all. When I say your child loves themselves, it means I teach them to focus on the things that they were born with, the qualities that make them them, whether they be creative or fun or friendly or beautiful or nice or kind or caring or musically inclined or super athletic. Or it's about having them focus on what makes them unique, something that does not happen in school. Think about it. In school, they're taught to focus on English, science, social studies, math, and everything else that's pertaining to school. But if your child does not fit in within the parameter of the education system, your child at a young age starts to question themselves, starts to question their worthiness, starts to question their intelligence, starts to question who they are if what they love is different than what they're expected to love or like or excel in. Your child must understand that the only opinion of them that matters is their own. And it's about empowering your child to know that they are unique, to develop their uniqueness, their gifts, their talent. First thing that your child must know is how to really start to appreciate and start to own the qualities that make them them. The second part is teaching your child that what they love, whether it be things that are creative, whether it be things that are artistic, teaching your child that they have the opportunity to love whatever they want and to encourage them to continue to focus on things that they love and giving them permission to love whatever they want, even if it's not of the norm, even if it's different, but if it makes them happy and it encourages them to learn, that's what we want to do. Because the goal is, in order to be happy, you have to focus on things that you love, right? If you're focusing on things that you don't love, you're not going to be happy. That's just the reality. That's why in life, we're not meant to love everything. When your child truly starts to love themselves, they show up to the world differently, they feel differently, they're more confident, they make better decisions, they attract better friends. This is a life changer. When you start to love your life, and I teach this to adults and I teach it to kids, when you start to love your life, you show up to the world in a very different way. You're happier, you're more excited, you believe in yourself, you trust yourself more, you're more open to trying new things. When you start loving yourself, that is true happiness. Loving yourself is not about what grades you get, what your successes are. Loving yourself is learning to love yourself regardless of what's going on around you, not by what you have, but how you make yourself feel. And how do you make yourself feel good? By focusing on what makes you unique, by focusing on what makes you amazing, by you making yourself amazing. That's what life is about. That's what true confidence is about. That's what true happiness is about. It's about loving yourself. True confidence comes from loving yourself. And are you going to mess up royally? Of course, it's life. You're not going to be perfect. That's the point. But when you're confident in your ability to make yourself feel good, and you know that you're in control of making yourself feel good, then the sky is the limit. And your child will be happier. It doesn't take months and it doesn't take years. In my program, kids see improvement within 30 days. 30 days. That's it. Because my approach is very simple. The only problem your child has is that they created a habit of negative thinking about themselves and about life. That is it. Your child is not doomed for life. They're not doomed with a label or a diagnosis. The only problem your child has, and if you hear anything out of whatever I just said, I want you to understand that your child is a gift that was born into this world for a reason. We must empower your child to know that, and not to try to fit into a box of what society says they should be, or what the education system says they should be good at or smart at. It's about empowering your child to be them, whatever that looks like. It's giving your child permission to be them. When you give a child permission to be them, it is a life changer. Now, as a life coach, do I say many things that you as the parent say to your child? Of course, but the difference is I am not the parent. Your child knows I have no emotional investment in your child other than to get your child results. Also, kids are so receptive. Everything I teach a child is not based off a textbook. It's none of that. What I teach a child is what I live in my own life, my own lifestyle. It's about being happy, being positive, because I figured out that's what works, and I figured out how to do it. And is it hard? No, it's way easier than you think. And that's why, like I said, the kids I work with, the adults I work with, they see improvement in 30 days. It's about teaching your child that life is supposed to be amazing for that. My purpose in working with them is to be their biggest fan and their biggest cheerleader, because I want to make your child so self-sufficient that they never ever rely on anyone for their happiness, including me. And that's why all my programs have a beginning and it has an end date, because I don't want your child to have to rely on me for their happiness. I teach them the tools and techniques to start feeling better about themselves first and foremost, and secondly, how to start loving life. It's about starting to love life, looking at life differently, looking for the positive, looking for the benefits, understanding that when you have a problem, there's a reason for it. And it's not about talking about the problem because that perpetuates the problem. That's why I don't believe in talk therapy. I don't think it works. For me, when I was younger, I tried it. It didn't work for me. I left the session, I was drained, I was exhausted, and somehow my childhood was the fault of why I had problems now. It was just so opposite for how I know or how I believe life to work. It's about looking forward. It's about looking at what's going on now, giving you the tools and techniques to be able to move forward in a positive way. Future focus. Your past does not matter. That's why, to me, talk therapy, when it's focused on your past, is bullshit. It's bullshit. It does not work. In fact, it holds you back. Anytime you look at your past, you're holding yourself back. It's about, how do I take now, use the information that I have, learn how to love myself, learn how to start loving life, and then moving forward in a positive, future-focused direction, because that is the only thing in your control. How to move forward in a better way. Feeling good about yourself and feeling good about life, because the better you feel, the better you attract. The better you feel, the more confident you are. The better opportunities you attract, and more positive people you attract. That is true happiness. And that is when you will feel the success of loving life so much that it doesn't matter about the conditions around you. It doesn't even matter how people treat you. The only thing that matters is how you treat you. And that begins with your own mind. So for more information, feel free to reach out. Your child deserves the best. I teach what I teach because I learned this later on in life. I only wish I learned this at 10. I only wish I learned this at 15. If you can give your child the gift of knowing what 99% of the world doesn't know, hence why most people are unhappy, this is a life changer for your child.